Hi friends, welcome to a new video. My name is Nastya and today I would like to discuss how to choose a good language teacher and what's best to learn a language with a native or a non-native teacher. If this is something of interest to you, like this video and subscribe to my channel. But first, I would like to give you some context on why I'm raising this question and who am I to speak about it. I was born and raised in Russia, which makes me a native speaker of the Russian language. Then I studied languages and linguistics at school, and I also taught French to Russian students for some time as a part-time job. I have another YouTube channel about French pronunciation where I teach how to produce French sounds. I noticed that a lot of students have this debate about who is the best teacher, a native or a non-native teacher. And what's interesting, in Russia, many people do prefer to teach a language with the teacher of their nationality, while a lot of international students seem to give preference to natives. You can tell by my experience that I'm not impartial. I did teach French as a non-native teacher, but anyways, in this video I'm not trying to justify anyone, and I just want to share my thoughts and my reflections about it, and hopefully this can help you to choose the best teacher for you if you're looking for one. Let's start this conversation with a vague but I think important question. Who is the best teacher? While perfection is hardly achievable in any area of life, I think we can still agree on some qualities that we would consider to be the qualities of the perfect teacher. This person needs to be knowledgeable. A teacher must know the subject they are teaching, that's obvious. This person also needs to be curious and have love for learning. While you do need to be knowledgeable, it is just impossible to know it all. We're not machines, we're only humans. And sometimes you might be making mistakes, or you might not know the answers to your students' questions. That's all right, but you need to navigate those situations graciously and be motivated by those situations to learn more along with your students. A good teacher needs to be a motivator. They need to cultivate love for the subject they are teaching. They need to be kind, empathetic, and care for others. It is important that a teacher creates friendly environment for their lessons to be productive. Students must feel safe. Last but not least, strong teaching skills. A teacher must be able to explain a concept in a clear and concise manner so even a beginner understands the concept. Sometimes teachers are also responsible for creating a whole program, and here again, it is hard to find the balance between making it hard enough so everyone stays engaged, but so no one gets confused. This is the list as I see it. You might want to add something to it, and feel free to do so in the comment section. But notice how I didn't mention being a native speaker. I do think that natives have an advantage in the first point. They are knowledgeable about their native language. But knowing something does not mean you can explain it. For instance, if you're a native speaker of the English language, will you be able to just easily, like that, explain the difference between somebody and anybody right now? Just think about it. You might be using those forms correctly, not making any mistakes, but it doesn't mean you can explain it. Teaching is a skill. We will continue the discussion of when a native teacher might win over a non-native teacher and vice versa, but first I would like to raise another vague but important question. Who is the best teacher for you? Probably we can all agree on the qualities that we just discussed, but still, every one of us is different. We have different levels, we have different goals and needs in learning a foreign language, which heavily affects our choice of a teacher. Someone maybe wants a more academic approach, while others would prefer a more laid-down manner of learning a language. Let alone that some ideally would like to connect with a teacher on a personal level or expect a certain vibe from a teacher. All of it to say, there is no one perfect teacher for everyone. I highly encourage you to think about your goals and the qualities that you want to see in your perfect teacher and use this as your personal criteria. And also, I encourage you to try. There's only one way to find the best teacher for you is to try to work with multiple teachers. It's fine to have multiple teachers at the same time as well. Whether your teacher should be a native or a non-native speaker, well, there is no definitive answer. Because being a good teacher depends on so many things that this question does not answer and doesn't even cover. I definitely can't tell you who to choose. I can only encourage you to try different things and to find out what works best for you. But here are some common scenarios when you might want to use a non-native teacher. You are a complete beginner. It's stressful to start learning a new language with a native teacher. Not everyone wants or needs this stress. In addition, non-native teachers might have a unique insights as they once had to learn the language they are teaching. They may be better aware about linguistic difficulties for the speakers of their native language. For instance, as a Russian person, I know what's particularly hard or easy for Russian speakers in French, as I had to struggle with the same. And there is a higher chance that I have better strategies to overcome those difficulties. You're preparing for an exam. Passing an exam is not only about knowing a language, but also about knowing the structure, the requirements, and the expectation of that particular exam. A speaker of your native language who ideally passed the same exam can again have a unique perspective or be able to explain the structure of the exam more in details, and especially if this exam is unique to your country, for instance, your high school exam or university exam. You feel more comfortable learning with a non-native teacher. And I think this is a completely valid reason. I know that some people in particular prefer to learn grammar with a teacher of their nationality, and again for the same reason that I've already mentioned. A person who had the same struggles when learning this new language might have better insight and better strategies on how to overcome those difficulties for particular speakers. And now, when you would probably want to study a language with a native teacher. First, you want to learn faster and you are ready for stress. The reasons for this are different. Maybe you're going to study abroad or work, or you're moving to a new country. You'd like to have conversational lessons, practice speaking, you'd like to get feedback from natives about your choice of words, about your pronunciation, and also to be closer to the culture. These are not set in stone rules that you must follow. I just shared some guidance. You may or may not agree with me, and feel free to do so in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. On my experience, I had different teachers, but most of them were Russians. I studied linguistics at university in French, so I studied French in French and English in English, but with Russian teachers mostly, and they were incredible professionals who laid down this system that called a language for me in such a concise, precise manner, so I have deep understanding of French grammar and phonetics and what are the patterns and what is the system like. But I do feel like I missed out on so many things by not having enough native teachers. But this is something that's never late to fix. To conclude this video, nationality of a teacher is not the only thing that matters. There are so many things you need to consider when choosing them as your teacher. First, I think the most important thing, they need to make you feel comfortable. They need to create this friendly and productive environment. They also need to be knowledgeable. They need to cultivate love for the subject, for the language, and for the culture. And they also need to be curious themselves, because we cannot know it all. Hope this helps if you're looking for a new teacher. Try different things, work with different people. It's okay to have multiple teachers at the same time, or to say goodbye to some who maybe did not fulfill your needs or maybe just not your people. It's completely normal. Or if you are a teacher, an aspiring one, hopefully this video gives you some motivation to keep going. We do need good teachers. Thank you guys for watching. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and I'll see you in my next one. See you!